Good morning. Welcome to the Organic Fanatics. All right, we're going to talk about last couple of games, especially last night. Last night we took a loss to the OKC Thunder. A lot to a little. So there's some things to unpack there. First of all, we got to go back and think about what are we doing this year. If you look back a couple of videos, this is a developmental year. We're not going, everybody, old school fans that are asking for trades and firings, you think that we're going for a championship. We're not a championship built team yet. We're developing, right? That's why we kept our youth. That's why we didn't trade them all for Donovan Mitchell to go all in for a championship or, late playoff run. Right now, we're looking to see if we can get into the playoffs while developing our youth. We got some veterans to help out the youth as they develop the Obi Toppins, the RJ, which RJ's a veteran now, and see where we're at developing. Quentin Grimes is just starting to get into it. You're seeing Cam starting to flourish now. That's what we're doing this year. We have to keep that in mind. We are developing, we're growing, we're getting everybody to a place that they're comfortable and they're productive. Some players that we didn't know what they could bring. Some players are working on consistency. And as a team, we're learning to bring how to win games. So that is what we're learning this year. Next year, we should be more far along if we keep the core and we keep this building. So as what we're looking at, other than the throwaway game from Brooklyn, that was a bad game because that was our rivals, and we just came out flat. We didn't come out ready at all. So that was a tough one to take there. But considering overall that we beat Detroit, those are teams that we should be winning. Young teams that got great talent, but they're not quite there. We're a little farther along as far as learning how to win with some veteran play. But overall, how we played yesterday, when we played against OKC, we had a record all time in first quarter points. So that shows that they did look at the film. They did not want to come out flat, and they wanted to come out ready for the first quarter. So we came out explosive for the first quarter. Second quarter, we played good. Third quarter is an area of opportunity that we got to start learning to come out with that same intensity for the third quarter, because other teams are ready to come out on the third quarter and then, play hard to outplay us, basically. So we came out a little flat in the third. Our defense does need a lot of work. The fact that we gave up 130, close to 140 points in a game is no bueno when you got a team, when you got a coach that's prided on defense. So there was a lot of lapses on there, a lot of leaving the three open. That's what this new NBA is about, three-pointers, passing the ball movement. That's something that we got to continue to work on. JB did a great job, 7 assists. I'd love to see him in the close to 9 assists per game, but 7 plus is usually a winning recipe, but we need more ball movement. But that's still something that we still need to work on, because if we're still working on that, then we can develop further. We need more ball movement as a team. I think Obi only played 15 minutes and Cam played 30. Cam was on fire, so you got to let the hot man roll. Obi had a couple of bad turnovers. RJ was just off, so that's why he said I think the entire fourth quarter, some of the third. So it's still growth, still development. The fact that we scored 120 points, even having an off night. They made a career in three-pointers too, so I was like their all-time in threes. They were 70% from the field, which is almost unheard of. Most teams are at 50%. So I think we played offensively a very, very good game. They just played a better one. It's going to be like that sometimes. Some teams are just going to be clicking on all cylinders. Again, the Garden gives everybody that momentum. We have to understand that the Garden is a designated place that everyone wants to play in. Everyone dreams about it. Not only our players, because we play there every night, but everyone in any NBA knows that the Garden is the mecca of all basketball, and they're going to want to show out there. So we got to play twice as hard, especially defensively. Defense is key in the Garden, because that's somebody's going to go off. It's always an unknown. It's somebody who you don't expect to go off that usually goes off there. So that was something that we need to work on. But overall, the fact that we offensively started clicking, other players were getting involved. Cam's starting to find his groove. Now we just got to work on his consistency. Obi, some turnovers the last two games. The fact that he's not getting 18 minutes a game to 20, I would say 20 is his sweet spot. So I think Thibs has to figure out something there. Give him 20 minutes, play Randall a little less. And the more ball movement we have as a team, which that's been a little weak from the beginning, that's going to stop the hero ball from Randall. Randall's trying to play hero ball. Derrick Rose, when we close it within 10, that walk up 3-pointer. I know he's starting to like that shot, but it wasn't the right shot at the right time. So him and quickly, sometimes they take the shots that are too quick, no pun intended, but we have to make sure that we're moving the ball and getting the right place. So it's the right shot, scoring, and not going with empty possessions. So we got to do the 3 stops. That's what we have to work on as a team. When a team is making a run against us, to have 3 consecutive stops. And when we do have the opportunity to score, to make sure we score. It's not the 3 to get us close. We're within 10. I think the last 2 games that we lost, we were trying to, other than the Brooklyn one, that they were trying to make it up with a 3-pointer and then bring it within 7. We've come close to 10. It's about good points. So you have to get a 2. There's plenty of time on the clock. The game is a long game. So it's about making the right plays and getting points on the board. It doesn't always have to be a 3. So that's where we got to focus on now. So this upcoming trip, Tuesday, we play Utah. Utah's number 1 in the West. They were supposed to be a team that was going for Wembayama. It doesn't look like it's going that way. They are balling. Marketing, Clarkson, you got Colin Sexton. So they got people that they're coming through your throat. Pause. They got a lot of young players that are playing energetic. So it's going to be interesting. We got to play our defense that game. That's going to be a test for us defensively. So if we're looking at any film and we're going to do any kind of improvement, that would be a team to definitely test it on. I don't think they're that big on threes. We're good at closing the paint on there, but that's going to be a team that we would want to look for a W. That's going to be a hard-fought win. If we do get one out, it's going to be very tough. But that's going to be our next challenge, a West Coast trip. So we got to start focusing in on that and how to close games. I think that's the next development that we're looking at, how to close games. So starting off with a lot of energy and then closing off the second half focused, making the right plays. Every possession counts. So we got to respect the possession. I don't think that we've been doing that. We're trying to rush shots. We're not making the right plays. We're doing a lot of hero ball. We stopped the ball movement in the second half. So ball movement, closing the quarters, those small things that we need to work on towards the rest of the year. It's still early. We're 11 games in. This will be our 12th, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday. So still better adjustments than how we were last year, where Thibs just went 20, 25 games of just let's see what happens. So on that aspect, you got to give his props. He's made changes. He's made substitutions. He's switched players. He started Cam. He's benched Evan Fournier. He's given the spotlight to Obi to take 3-point shots. So as a coaching aspect, I don't see that he's doing wrong. Some substitutions here and there, play within the game, like not stopping when they were making a run on us the last time. I still think he needs to give even 3 to 5 minutes with Deuce on the time that they're running on us, that they're making a run. Introduce them to the game, even for 2 or 3 minutes, to stop the run, to slow that momentum down. That's where we have to focus on their momentum. Momentum is big with them. When they were running on us, when Brooklyn was running on us, I thought, when Brunson was getting cooked by Sumner, so like that's where Thibs would either, if you don't want to take out Brunson, move him over or bring in. I mean, Quentin Grimes is starting to play now. He's putting him in games, whether it's a little bit of minutes. Put him and Quentin in, even if it's for 3 minutes, to stop the run, to put pressure on the ball, even if it's a foul, to slow that momentum, and then bring back Jalen Brunson. I think he has to include Deuce. This is where The games that we have lost usually has been point guard play. Some unknowns, even to slow down the momentum. I think Deuce should be brought in. I mean, even if it's for try that lineup. If we're trying small ball, try a Deuce, a Grimes, and even Cam. Those three players together, I think that'll be a very tough defensive, young, athletic group, even for a couple of minutes at a time. Doesn't have to be for the whole game. Doesn't have to mean that they're starters, but I think Deuce, Grimes, and Cam together would be pretty scary defensively. And last night also proved that we definitely need Mitch. Mitch is huge. Mitch is important to our defense, and we show how much he's missed because his presence there alone would have slowed down a lot of that, even if it's closing out to the 3-point shooters. So the games against Brooklyn, the games against even Detroit. Detroit was shooting quite a bit, but you can see how Mitch is definitely important to us, and how even though Hartenstein's doing phenomenal, he's doing great. Number 4 in NBA, him and Mitch tied for offensive rebounds. He's doing great there. Defensively, he's not at there. Sims is doing a great job filling in the role in the meantime till Mitch comes back. So Sims has played very well. He needs to stay on the floor. Stop jumping for the fakes. I think that's one thing that's killing us. Always biting on the fakes. Come on, man. We're NBA players. You guys are. I'm sorry, we. I'd love to. I wouldn't be talking here if I was in the NBA. But the pump fake is the number one move that everybody does. Stay grounded. If they get you on that first move, let them get you on the first move, man. Stay on the ground. That's what Mitch always bid on when he was young. So you can see Sims is kind of, as a young player, he's biting on the pump fakes. He's getting up in the air, and then he's fouling. So he's making dumb young fouls. These are young fouls as a young NBA player center. So that's what Mitch went through. So I think it's Sims' turn now. He's going to learn. I think he's going to see some film. I think it's something that we can work on, that he's getting some burn time early. And I think that's something that'll help throughout later in the year. He'll know not to jump or when to jump. So those are just some things that we need to take away that I think as we get later on in the year, you'll see more focus. I definitely would like to see Deuce. Derrick Rose, he said he's in an unknown. He's starting to come around. He's trying to find his shot. He does well on the pull-up threes at time, but we have to respect the possession. If we're making a run, just make the right play. Get to the line is how we stop the run. Getting to the line is how we get back into the game, not the three. We ain't as good as Steph Curry and teams that shoot threes that regularly and make them regularly to be trusting in our three-point shot. Our best three-point shooter is Obi. Okay, so if it's not Obi taking a shot at this point, don't take it. Randall's playing some hero ball because we're not moving the ball. I do like that he's been taking it to inside the paint, even though they've had some bad fouls with him. But I think that'll be something that he'll learn as he goes through the year, and to just dominate the paint. No one can stop him inside the paint. So we'll see how we do in Utah. I'm liking, at least that we're making some corrections along the way. It's still early in the season. It's only 11, 12 games in. We still got about 68 more games to go. So considering all that, I did say 44 wins. I did say we're going to start off slow. There's going to be adjustments. It's a new team. First time Brunson's in it. Evans not used to his role in the bench. So there's been a lot of changes. Look at all the changes that's been happening. Mitch has been out. You got to consider these and the losses that we've had and how we're at now. There has been adjustments. There hasn't been the same starting lineup altogether for 11 games. It's been substitution switches. So it's adjustments going on now. But through all that, to bring back my first point, is development. Cam is developing. Obi's getting a little more consistent. You're starting to see IQ starting to come around offensively. He's trying a lot of different things defensively. Probably one of our better rebounders as well, so he does great rebounding. Quentin Grimes, we're going to see him. He's going to have some struggles. Like we saw, I think the last game, he's trying to get in, miss some shots. His timing's a little off, but, I mean, that's understandable considering that he missed all that time. It's going to take some time for him to get into the swing of things before we start saying trade Quentin, or we should have traded him to get Donovan, because that's going to be the next meltdown for the Knicks. We should have traded Quentin and got Donovan. Look how bad he's playing. Come on, guys. Chillax. Relax. Root for the blue and orange. Support your team. Stay with them. Stay on the bandwagon. Don't jump off yet. We're not trading. We're not doing any of that. So I still got time. Just think where we're at. We are developing. Sorry, developing. Everybody's adjusting. There's no key rotations that has been the same. So everything is a work in progress. It's going to be tough against Utah. It's going to be a very tough game. If we can pull that one off, that'll show growth. I'd love to have Mitch back then. I think he's getting evaluated yesterday, 7 to 10 days. So sometime between today, I think he's going to get reevaluated. I don't know if he'll be ready for the Utah game. Whatever game we got for the weekend, I think that's when they'll let him come back. He'll get reevaluated. Thibs will see how he does in practice. See how he feels after that first practice, just like he did with Quentin, and then see if he's ready to play. I don't think he's going to be back for Utah, so don't get your hopes up for that or the game after. I think they're going to want to see how, after he gets evaluated, how he does in practice, how he feels after practice. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Look for more development. Look for Jericho Sims to get heavy minutes again. He's playing good. He's starting to come around. I think he is similar to Mitch. So that's why Thibodeau's kind of starting him in that role. And then Hartenstein to get used to the bench role that he normally plays with Mob Deep. So Mob Deep got to get a little more consistent. So they're starting to come around. They were our best part last year. I think once Mob Deep gets into their system, the rotation, once Evan gets comfortable with that team, it'll work out. But he's missing a lot of shots, so he's got a little bit of time to get to it before Quentin finds a groove. If Quentin finds a groove, it's going to be tough splitting minutes here. So Cam's starting to find his groove. So all that's slowly pushing out Evan, either to trade. So look out to hear. Look, you should start hearing something soon on trades in that aspect. I don't know if we keep him around, if he gets upset and asks for a trade. So I think he'll probably eventually ask for a trade if he's not getting heavy minutes. So look for that before the deadline. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. My brothers are out there doing their thing. So to the next podcast that we do all together, support the movement, Knicks Nation, the Organic Fanatic Show. Give us your comments. I'd love to reply to whatever you guys have to say. You know what to do. Like, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you guys. Love to have you guys join us. So peace, love to the next one. Go Knicks.